into the hot seat Steve Chamberlain with Insightpool and a number of other ventures. You can go ahead and grab the mic, Steve. I love your background. You're not, I wouldn't say the prototypical entrepreneur that, you started in storytelling. You started in journalism. You're Florida Gator.
That's correct.
You've raised a lot of money off of ideas. Notably headed up the Beatles Anthology for
right.
Capital EMI, the most successful, best-selling record compilation in music history.
Right.
Here in town, you were part of the development of the King and Queen building. Is that?
That's correct. Very early on. Yeah.
Very early on. Part of companies like WebMD. You also own the most famous golf instructional film ever made, Bobby Jones' How I Play Golf.
That's right.
I obviously have never watched that because I don't play golf very well.
Well, I should watch it myself because I'm a terrible golfer, but.
So you've worked with Turner Broadcasting. You've been part of a number of exciting ventures and startups, and you're obviously a demonstrated storyteller. And I'm really curious, how do you raise money for an idea?
Well, you have to have a lot of guts in the first place. And if I can say one thing, people buy people. That's really what it comes down to. I have made 23 investments in the last 15 years. I had 4 very successful exits, WebMD, N2 Broadband, most recently Vitru, and a credit card transaction company called Repay Online. I have had 9 bankruptcies, so I've been hit over the head quite a few times. And I have 10 that are active right now, very excited about it. But it's through the failure that I've learned. And so much of this is rooted in failure. You get kind of good at it after a while of listening. I was saying to Adam, I'll look at 100 these days and I'll do 1. It's come down to that. And I was sitting in my office this morning thinking about what I could say uniquely to everyone here today. And there's 8 things that I have to have before I do a deal. Do I even like the person? Seriously, I've done deals before. I don't even like the person. I think they're smart and I'm intrigued by it, but I just go ahead and do it and not think about it. I've paid the price for that. So that's the very first thing. Sounds like common sense, doesn't it? But it's really, it comes back to bite you if you don't honor that. Second, what is the work ethic of the people involved in this deal? Believe it or not, I've been in deals where people have told me what to do, and I'm the money. Going on vacation for a month and you can't find them, these types of things. I learned the hard way. So I want to know what the work ethic is of the people at the center of this deal. What are they willing to do? Because it's going to get difficult, always does. But the work ethic gets you through it together. Third thing, what have you done before? Now, even if you're young and a college student, what have you done to excel in school or athletic? What have you done before? I'm looking for a success story. I'm looking for a pattern. And I'll ask it. And as I get to know people, I want to know, what have you done before? Because it's all coming back to confidence. So then number 4, do I understand the product or the service or whatever it is that we're doing? Because if it breaks, can I help them fix it? I mean, and I want to know that I understand the product myself. Believe it or not, I've invested in stuff. I have no idea what we're doing. And it's come back to haunt me. So number 5 would be, what's the niche we're going after here? I'm not interested in competing against a Fortune 500 company. I'm interested in finding that little hole, that little niche, where nobody else is looking, and let's go after it. So my money is one thing, and I've done it, as I said, 23 times. But what can I do personally to help move the company forward? Because I tend to like to get involved, either as a board member or an advisor. And what can I personally do to pick up the phone, generate new sales, or whatever it is? And it typically comes back to the branding area that I have the experience in, and the sales and the marketing is what I typically lead in. But I want to be involved personally with it. I don't want to be a passive investor. This is a big one, number 7, because I've experienced it a couple of times. the exit strategy. Are the core people on the team, the CEO and the other guys or ladies that are running this thing, are we on the same page when it comes to getting an exit? I'm not here to finance a science project, and I've done that before. This is all about the money to me as an investor. And we've had severe conflicts over this because you get people who are holding on, disrespectful of the other people who have put the money up to make this happen, and it creates a problem. So I want to make sure up front, before I write the check, are we on the same page when it comes to getting out of here? Otherwise, yeah, I'm not interested. And then the final test, and I think that everybody in the room can relate to this, is what are my instincts telling me? Every single time that I've lost, I haven't had that thing that's just, I can't lose. And so my instincts, that little button in the back of your head there, that antenna has to be tweaking for me to want to do something.
If one of our audience members is sitting in front of you right now, has the insight now with the 8 things you're looking for, help us understand, when you were out raising, when you're actually out helping the companies that you're advising and investing in secure more funding, what are the things what's the one thing that they need to be prepared for? What do they need to bring into that conversation?
Well, let's be clear about this. I mean, you obviously have wealthy people getting involved in this type of funding. You take 5% of your assets that you can afford to lose, and you go ahead and do it. But I'm going to go back to the same thing. People buy people. It's all about the confidence. And when I'm 58 years old, and when I'm dealing with young people at Flashpoint, when I get them in front of the president of Turner Broadcasting, it's no joke for me to pull that kind of political capital. And they're doing it as a favor to me. So I insist with the young people, you're going to wear a coat and tie. I don't care what they're wearing, but we're going to act like professionals, and from the get-go, because first impression is everything. And maybe I'm old school, but this hoodie stuff doesn't wash with me. It's funny, but that's my money. You know, it's serious. That's what I do for a living.
I'm 21. I'm getting ready for it. I understand that people buy people. People support people. Treat it seriously. What's the best thing I can do in my preparations? What activity, what tactic, what exercise can I go through so when I am in front of that president of Turner Broadcasting, I'm ready?
Yeah, well, I want you to understand, I mean, being in great command of the subject matter yourself, what you're trying to do, but the biggest thing for me is to understand the marketplace. Who's in this already? Who's in and around it already? How are they doing it? And what are other big companies, or how do they address this now? And so what's the angle here? And so that's what I'm looking for, is the background, the historical background, that you've done your homework, that you understand the landscape, what's already out there. That's impressive to me. Not like, well, I don't know. Well, that's not, that doesn't engender confidence.
Who's the best Beatle?
I can't say. They're all the greatest,
What's your favorite Beatles song?
I would probably say In My Life.
Really, you're on a hot seat. Thank you very much.
Okay.